I am revisiting the topic of Ceuta, as I had previously been calling it, I believe. Its actual name is...
Ceuta.
Ceuta?
Ceuta.
Ceuta?
Ceuta.
Ceuta? He's got a fat tongue, man, this robot guy. He doesn't pronounce it very well. I can't pick up how exactly... Let's say Ceuta. I'm just going to go with Ceuta. Apparently, there's still, according to Google, I asked Google, how many Moroccan invaders are still in Ceuta? And they say, there's migrant, they call them migrants, 5,000 to 8,000 as of late July, which is quite a lot less than the 72,000-ish that invaded to begin with, which they did invade, not migrants, they invaded. But it's still a lot of people, isn't it? That's still a lot of people, because Ceuta is not a particularly large area. You know, like people... They make such excuses for things like immigration, like, oh, look how big America is. Yeah, look how many immigrants there are in America. There's around 50 million people in America, in the USA of America, who were not born in the country. And that's the legal ones. And then you include the illegal ones, and that number goes up to somewhere between 60 and 80 million. And now you're talking about a massive army in a country where anyone can have a gun. So, I'm not really super fond of that mentality that you could have nearly 100 million people in your country, all born in foreign countries. I just, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me as an actual American that I have a problem with that. I don't know. But in Spain, well, they have a lot of people who are suddenly, for some reason, nobody really knows why, but for some reason, there's a lot of people who are suddenly outraged by the fact that there are still many thousands of people who have invaded their country over a month ago and yet are still there. So this is from Vinegrad 24. Well, I don't speak Spanish, but they're holding the flag, right? That's definitely not the Mexican flag. If they were in America, that would be the Mexican flag. But I'm pretty sure these are Spaniards. I just don't know what exactly they're saying. However, they're supposed to be protesting, according to Vinegrad, they're supposed to be protesting the invasion, or as Google calls it, it's the migrants, the asylum seekers. Right. So apparently they're protesting all of this, and I wonder why they're protesting it. I mean, who knows? This is also from Vinegrad. Why would they be protesting this? What is there, like, when you see this, what is there wrong with this, really? What's wrong with the National Guard of your country ushering in thousands of people from a foreign country into yours? I don't know if that's a translation or just what the AI's picking up there. Nice little umbrella there. It's probably just coincidentally rainbow colored, right? I mean, this is absurd. And why are these people being allowed in? I mean, I think we know the why. We'll get there in the future, but I'm just going to go over this boat invasion here. So this also from Vinegrad. A large motorboat carrying 62 migrants landed near Cala del Barco in Cartagena, Spain. The group jumped into the water or disembarked in front of tourists and then dispersed. Sunbathing beachgoers can be seen packing up and leaving as the boat arrives. The boat operators quickly fled. Authorities later located all 62 people, mostly young Algerian origin, including 15 minors and 2 women. They received Red Cross assistance and were processed under standard immigration procedures. The vessel was a high-powered boat. Locals called it the VIP taxi for migrants because it was commonly used by smuggling networks for short and fast crossings of Algeria's northern coast. It's not really smuggling, though. I mean, I don't know. When you say smuggling, normally it's supposed to be like under the cover of darkness, or at least secrecy, right? Well, this isn't. Now, I'm not going to show this exact video because it's in Spain, and girls in Spain start wearing micro bikinis when they're about 4 years old. So all of the women in this are in thong bikinis. But this particular one, it's the same thing you can see, and it's from a wider angle. It's only a 11-second video, but I'll just show this real quick. Now, there's just some crazy music blasting in the background, so I've muted it. But this is really why I'm making this video, because I'm watching this, and if these people in this boat really are immigrants, kind-hearted, gentle immigrants, and future scholars and doctors and lawyers, if that's really what they are, then how can you look at this with not even the slightest shred of understanding of what's happening, like right in front of your eyes, right? This is just Just imagine this is Native Americans looking at the white people, the evil white people coming over from Europe. You're a Native American standing on the beach, and you're witnessing the evil white men coming over from Europe. Does that set the perspective a little bit more clearer? Like, these are people, all of these people on the beach, they're literally naked. They are completely unarmed, naked, standing there, watching, mouth agape, as people come over and invade their country. And the only thing they have is their phones, which you can see some people holding up to record. That's it. That's all they've got. They are literally bare-ass naked. And this is what I've said many times before. These people invite the immigrants over so that they can meet them on the beaches. I mean, I've literally said this. They can meet them on the beaches, turning around on their knees, spreading their butt cheeks. Obviously, I was saying it as a joke, but this is literally what's happening. I mean, maybe not the butt cheeks part, but pretty close for some of these people. I mean, I know they're Spaniards, but Spanish people, Spanish men, they love their Speedos, don't they? Not all of them, thank God, but it's not as bad as other countries. I don't think anyone ever wants to see a man in a Speedo. Anyway, I made this video specifically because of this particular scene being so close to what I use as a comical exaggeration of what's happening, that liberals are going to the beaches to meet their immigrants with their buttholes. This is damn near the same thing as the joke that I say, the exaggerated joke that I say. And so I couldn't help but make a video about it. But here's now a lot of these things are taken from people who they make a lot of X posts about things like this. They're not always correct. So I do try to be careful about at least what I say about them. But this one, which is by Radio Genoa, this you can actually see on this white sign here in the middle that it says Ceuta. I think I did it right that time. So you can see there's just a fist fight between two random people that don't look very Spanish to me. just knocking them on the ground, throwing them down, people wandering around the background, not even paying any attention to it. It's like it's New York, just ignoring the brutal fist fights and stuff happening in the middle of the streets. And so here you can see on the sign, if you take a look at it, Ceuta. No one wants to live like this, right? If you're in a high trust society, somewhere where I think most people in the West probably assumed that Spain was, I don't know if I'll have to censor that for YouTube, actually. The fist fight is pretty graphic for YouTube. I might actually have to now that I think about it. But in the West, I always thought that Spain was like a high trust, like progressive. When I say progressive, I don't mean like liberal exactly. I just mean like they aren't in the dark ages. I always thought that of Spain. And now look at it. And you see the same thing happening in every country, including in America, the regression to the Dark Ages. I mean, you know anything about the lore of like Warhammer, and it's like, how the hell did they go from these like miraculous technologies and suits of armor and these gigantic mechs, and they can't make them anymore? They've lost the technology, and that's a common theme in sci-fi and stuff. Ancient technology that they can't reproduce. How do you do that? Well, here we are with our high trust society being destroyed. And hello, loud neighbor driving by. No one knows how to stop this problem. No one understands. No one can figure it out. It's just we're regressing into the Dark Ages, and no one knows how to fix it. Well, I do particularly like this one woman. Now, again, I don't speak Spanish, so I'm just going. Actually, this might be an Italian woman. I can't remember. So I think it's Spanish. I can't speak it, so this is just going off of the caption here.
Porque yo estoy hasta los cojones de que me vengan los negros a mi barrio, me vengan acosando, a mí, a mis amigas, violen a mujeres y nadie les diga nada. Y que encima la policía no nos deje expresarnos. Estoy harta. Quiero que vuelva una España en la que yo me sienta segura y no tenga que ir mirando de adelante para atrás. Todo peor, no puedo salir sola a la calle. Antes bajaba sola a las 12 a mi parque de siempre y ahora si bajo me los encuentro ahí y me dicen, ¿quieres ser mi mujer? O me quieren tocar y es como, tío, ¿sí? Te intentan tocar, luego llamé a la policía una vez porque me estaban acosando con una amiga y no vinieron. Me tocó defenderme a mí sola con mi amiga de ellos. La policía no sirve para nada y no nos dejan expresarnos.
Te quiero preguntar, ¿estos hechos han condicionado tu voto? El día de mañana, ¿a qué partido político votarías?
Yo a Vox, pero yo siempre votaría a Vox. Yo quiero lo mejor para mi país y quiero mi propia libertad y poder ser libre. No quiero salir por la calle y mirar a los lados.
So she is Spanish. I looked at a lot of stuff before this, and I didn't remember what I was looking at. But so she said she was always going to vote for Vox. But I I mean, not every woman's insane. Women do get they get the girl debuff because there are a lot of crazy women out there. It's not like it's unique to them. Obviously, there's a lot of violent men. Talking about the violent men in this particular video, and I mean her video, mine as well. So there's a lot of violent men out there, and the rest of us men have to deal with that. It's the violent man debuff, and she's got the girl debuff, and it's it's just something you have to deal with. You have to just presume. Basically, just presume all white women are crazy until proven innocent, and the reason for that is because, well,
They have the right to be a human being and not an animal. They are human beings and they will be always human beings. So give them their rights. They are human. They are human. I was born in the Netherlands, and in my heart I'm a Moroccan. They have the
what? I was born in the Netherlands, speaking with, as far as I could tell, a Spanish accent, and saying that these people, I guess she first of all, she's saying that she has the heart of a Moroccan, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. But then she's saying that the Moroccans aren't living like human beings if they're in Morocco. So you're only living like a human being if you're in Spain. But then doesn't that mean that anyone who's living like worse off than Morocco, and there's plenty of countries like that, they're like less than Morocco, and Morocco's already living like animals. So, I mean, what does that even mean? And I don't think these countries, Moroccans especially in this case, would be particularly happy and appreciative to hear this woman's empathy, kindness, where she's saying that their country is so bad that they live like they're less than animals, not even human beings. I really liked this guy in the side here. First of all, the old white ladies. She looks like she's scowling. I can't quite tell. A lot of these people look like they're scowling at this crazy lady. The guy in the blue shirt, I can't get a good picture of him, but he's... I don't know if he's smiling at her or if the sun's in his eyes or what. He's just like... I like to think that he's smiling at how crazy this woman is, because that's sort of the face I have. It's a mixture of disgust and that. But this woman is the problem. The women who think, and I've said it many times before, they think that the world is just one big dysfunctional family and they need the guiding hand of the matriarchy to bind us all together. And they just need, the belligerent son just needs to be punished by mommy. That's all that needs to happen. That's not the case, though, because normally, in families, the sons are not going out and raping the daughters. That's just not normally how it happens. Sometimes it does, of course, but that's not really the normal type of family. And that's what these people insist is normal. They insist that this is just the way things are, but that's not. And yes, there's the argument that you do have bad things happen in a country even without immigrants. But then why import a bunch of immigrants and then cause even more problems? It's not really a counter argument at all. It just kind of makes the point that if you already have problems, why import more problems? And that one is by Basil the Great. There's another one by Radio Genoa. Now, Spanish patriots in Ceuta, whatever, are hunting down North African Muslim invaders, is the way they wrote that. I don't know if that's actually what's happening here or not. Again, I don't speak Spanish, but it does certainly look like it. And I can't tell what they're saying. Is this a rainbow flag there? But this is bound to be what's going to happen. Is that a cow? It's a big Dalmatian. So it does look like you have a bunch of Spaniards hunting them down, doesn't it? Like, it looks like it's exactly like how it's described. A bunch of roving Spaniards being shepherded, I suppose. I mean, not really shepherded. They're like the police there, the National Guard or whatever. They're more like border collies, keeping them from attacking or whatever. But what would happen if they weren't there is the question. And why are they there is another question. And why are those people behind them, by that fence? Why are they there? And why are they allowed to be there? There's a lot of questions going on here. And at the end of the day, the government is not making their people happy, but they are making foreigners happy. And so whatever's happening in this clip, I'm not entirely sure, not exactly sure anyway. I do know that if you allow these things to continue to happen, you will have people hunting them down. And there's not always going to be a National Guard to stop them. And the more people are brutalized, whatever that brutalization takes form as, then the more violent this is going to become until it ultimately erupts. And at a certain point, everything's going to be very, very easily justified by the people committing the defense, let's just say, the patriots, as people like to call them. There's another clip by Radio Genoa showing, supposedly showing the same thing, protesters shouting to drive out the Moroccans, the invaders, whatever they're calling them. Very energetic. But the thing is, for every single one of the people like this, there's inevitably going to be someone like this woman, the Barbie Gaza, as she's called. She's partying with the illegal migrants. And you can see on her shirt here, it says Free Palestine. So even if you don't speak the language, you know exactly what's going on. Free Palestine, she chants, while surrounded by a bunch of African Muslims and such. And so the problem here, as you can see, is a woman who will be immediately taken to the Red Room by all of the people that she's trying to empower the instant they get power, and she has no idea what she's even doing. Or maybe she does, and she just has a kink for being brutalized. I'm not sure. Because you know there's no way that they're not thinking about it. You know there's no way they're not going to do it. I mean, they do it to random girls that they find, children that they find, all over the place. Why wouldn't they do it to some girl who dresses like this and surrounds herself with them? And there's just countless women like this. And it's not just the women, of course, but like I said, girl debuff. This is what's causing the girl debuff. Specifically, women like this. I mean, it's incurable, really. They're just a plague upon us. They're a plague upon sanity and rationale. And I do think women like this, people like this, even when they see it happening in front of their eyes, it's not going to be enough because they cannot imperil their own political position. Their narrative of free Palestine cannot be jeopardized by anything because if they're wrong, every single thing they've ever done or said in their entire life immediately unravels. So they'll just double down on it. They can see them brutalizing children right in front of their eyes, and they'll just say, oh no, they're just our neighbors. Oh, they just need mental health or some other crap. They'll always have some sort of excuse for it. And speaking of excuses, another one by Physiograd here. They brought up this article where Spain has 24 cases of scabies of all things, and they've claimed that this is in their military, and they claim that it's not linked to the illegal migrant invasion because it's just natural in places like Ceuta, where it's a common infection of a highly humid geographic region such as that, and they're blaming dirty barracks and such. But again, remember that other woman? I'm going to see if I can go back to her real quick. No, not you. That's you.
Born in the Netherlands, and in my heart, I'm a Moroccan.
Yes, that crazy lady. You remember when she said that people in Morocco were living like less than animals or living like animals or whatever? When it's coming to Spain makes you a human? Okay, so these guardsmen, the military in Spain, they're living like humans, right? They understand germ theory. I mean, they're wearing masks in this picture, right? Not the person that they're dragging along like a fucking hog. Not him. Not the invader. The naked invader. No. The men who know how germs work. Those men are getting scabies because of their dirty barracks and the humid region of Ceuta. I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I just don't believe that. I believe that the scabies is probably a result of the guy who's upside down. I mean, what else am I supposed to think? And then you've got Red Cross here, showing the Red Cross giving out food to all of these people. So, I mean, this is what the Red Cross is for, but I do think that it's very surreal that you have the Red Cross being funded by countries in the West, giving free food and water out to people from Africa who are invading a country from the West. Like, at a certain point, humanitarianism is actually detrimental, right? Like, it's actually unhelpful. Because if people know, this is how the welfare state works, by the way, if people know that they can get something for free, then bad people will abuse that. and then bad people are empowered to continue to do bad things whilst good people suffer, right? That's how the welfare state works. Bad people take advantage of systems made to help everyone under the presumption that everyone is a good person. Everyone is not a good person. So these problems exist because of idiots who think that everyone can be saved, and these people, I don't think they can be saved. Like, you can give them water, you can keep them alive for another day, but I don't think there's any correcting them on the righteous path. You know, they've already cemented their place in history the moment they invaded another country. I think that's around the time it was pretty sure that they were not a good person. And so these problems all exist, basically, as I said, because of idiots. We have just complete morons who think that you can solve all of the problems in the world by giving everyone a free handout. But most of these people are not capable of creating anything on their own. They're not capable of solving the simplest of problems, and yet they're also the people who claim that they created the world. They created democracy. They created cowboy culture. They was kangs and all of that. They're the lords of the world, and everything was promised to them 3,000 years ago. The reality is that they can't be helped. And it's not because of skin color. It's not because of gender. It's not because of faith. It's because of intelligence. And they don't need to get smarter. They don't need to study or learn or research or improve themselves, because welfare states, like any kind of humanitarian aid, like Red Cross or whatever, the police protecting them, National Guard protecting them, politicians protecting them, even CEOs wanting to bring over infinite immigrants for cheap labor. There's so many people who are protecting them, obviously for the sake of using them for cheap labor, using them for free votes, using them to destabilize a country, depending on the narrative of why someone's bringing them over. I mean, I'm sure some of them are hostile, right? Some countries, I mean, like Spain's invasion Morocco's invasion of Spain, that was obviously organized by someone, something, somewhere. I mean, it could have even been Spain that did it. It could have been anybody, but someone did it for some reason, and a lot of people have been hurt by it. Obviously, storefronts and such have been attacked, but there's been lots of reports of rapes, including on children. I mean, it's inevitable. You had 70-something thousand people come over, almost all of which men, and they're all, I think Morocco's like 99.7% Islam or something. It's simply unavoidable that you're going to have conflict between people who are different. That's just the way humans are. It's the way everyone is, really. So these are the people causing, I guess, very directly causing the issue, but then there's a way above them, there's the people who think that this is something that we can cohabitate with. Why would you ever think that you can cohabit? Like, there's people watching them, like they're animals in a zoo. Meanwhile, we have Spaniards, apparently from the Netherlands, claiming that Moroccans live like animals. Huh. Yeah, you know what? I think she is the problem. In fact, I'm going to listen to him one more time, just because it's 10 seconds long, and this woman is the problem.
They have the right to be a human being and not an animal.
Well, you know what? If they can't figure out an escalator, I'm not sure they have that right anymore. I don't think that these infinity people coming over into the countries that they don't belong in and enriching them, I don't think that they belong there. And they've ravaged Spain's colony of Ceuta, and they've just left a million flipflops everywhere. They've brutalized some of the women, scared them at the very least. I mean, this has got to be a pretty freaky thing to actually see. I mean, it's easy to look at on the internet, but to imagine being there. Imagine being afraid to leave your house to go get groceries. Oh, I need my medicine. Time to go fight off the rapists. Uh-oh. Well, I hope I don't get raped today. Yeah, that sounds like a rough time, that you have to send out the men to go get groceries because the women might be violated if they go. And obviously not every single one of these people is going to be violent, but this is the problem, I think, with women, is that they can't just shut off their emotions. They have to help. They can't just say, well, some people are going to get screwed. Some people are nonviolent, and they're going to get screwed over because of the violent people. Just like the girl debuff, just like the man debuff. Lots of men are judged unfairly because of violent men. And I'm doing the same thing right now. You just have to shut off your emotions sometimes and make the best decision you can. Some of these people are not violent. Send them back anyway. Send them back to where they belong, their home country. Anyway, I just wanted to revisit Ceuta because of that one clip of the boat, which was just so remarkably similar to something that I had said as an exaggerated, hyperbolic joke. The liberals spreading their butt cheeks and waiting on the shores for the immigrants to come have their way with them. And I I ended up here somehow. I don't know. I spent like 2 hours doom scrolling through X and somehow ended up here. So that's all I wanted to whine about today. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed, please do the YouTube things.